that one gets you going a little bit. That one will energize you a tad. It's Moose Sweat the Box, presented by Gotlit Light Installers, GotlitLights.com. That was a really good team win, and one that they had to have. If you would have let Mississippi State come in here and steal game number 1 of this series, that would have sucked. There's really no other way to put it. That would have absolutely sucked. They pitched off. Evan Sierra did what he's done all year. He went 3 innings. He threw a lot of junk up there, made some big pitches, and kept you off balance for 3 frames. You managed a solo home run off of him from Curiel, and you're able to manufacture a run on the double steal in the second. But other than that, he kept you off balance. You look at the start from Cade Anderson, it's not what you want, but he kept it small. And we'll talk about that. Obviously, Connor Binge, a little sandwich spot there. And my goodness, y'all, Zach Cowan. I mean, what else can you say about Zach Cowan? He was absolutely incredible. Incredible tonight. My phone is moving all over the place. I apologize. Cowan, for him to come in there knowing you need 12 outs and absolutely step on their throat from the moment he entered the game. The moment he entered the game, steps on the throat. LSU had not put up a 0 all night long. All night long. They got close a couple times, but they just couldn't put hitters away. Whether it was Anderson, whether it was Binge. They really, really struggled putting hitters away. And Zach Cowan comes in and doesn't just hang the first 0, gets it 1, 2, 3 over. Step on their throat, and that's what he did. And it was massive, obviously, because you had just taken the lead. You took the 5, you had the 5-run fifth, and we'll go through all of that, but 12 outs, 4 shutout, 0 walks, 7 Ks in less than 60 pitches for Zach Cowan. He was awesome. He was efficient. He was dominant. He mixed his pitches incredibly well. When Cowan came in, he started everybody off with the changeup, that nasty straight change that he has. In his 3rd inning, once you got to the 8th, he started starting hitters off with the fastball and finishing with the changeup. I think I even saw a slider or 2 in there from Zach Cowan. The fastball had a little bit more life to it. He got it to 93 a couple of times. Zach Cowan was just freaking nails. And again, this shows you, I get it, this is a 1-run game, then a 2-run game, but this is the 3rd straight week in SEC play. They've gone to him on Friday night. They like him at the back end on Friday nights, and I think you're going to continue to see that. And after performances like that, who's going to complain? I mean, Zach, he was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Allowed 1 hit. He was great. I mean, he was. There's really nothing else I can say. And again, I loved the mix of his pitches, where comes in first 2 innings, everybody's seeing change up to start, and then he really starts mixing. He really starts mixing later. So that was awesome. Okay, I apologize, Chris Clavin. You're right. It is Thursday, game 1 of the series. 3rd time in conference play you've seen Cowan come in at the back end of game 1 of the series. In 3 very different spots as well, mind you. You were up 12-5 against Missouri. He came in and finished off the final inning in the 3rd. Obviously, you were up 6 against Texas a week ago. He gets the last 9 outs. And then here on Thursday night against Mississippi State, you're up 1, you go straight to him. And that's really what I want to talk about too right here, because if y'all tuned into the preview, if you tuned into the series preview, when we got to how State's lineup matched up against LSU's pitching, and their lineup was really good, y'all. I mean, that was as advertised for everything that I thought it was going to be. But the one thing I said is, let's watch how Jay manages this. And I gave you a scenario. And I based that scenario off of the Saturday game at Texas. And that one right there played out to a T. The scenario I laid out was, okay, honestly, I did it for Saturday because I thought Anderson would get you deeper. But it was all right. You get your starter. And then if you have a lead, Do you use Binge? Binge was actually the guy I mentioned, or someone else as a brief bridge and then immediately go to your next guy. Shorten the game as much as you can and get to Cowan, get to Evans. That's what they did not do last Saturday against Texas. Binge served as a bridge for you. After Ware and Schmidt, you took the lead by 1, needing 9 outs, and they did not go to Case and Evans when they could have. And I figured that would change, and it changed already in game 1 of this series. You shortened it as much as you could. Binge came in there. He wasn't super efficient. He ended up giving up a run with 2 outs. He was ahead of 2 guys once. Like, getting ahead wasn't his problem. He just couldn't finish. He just could not finish anybody off. But he kept it small. And then your bats exploded. And then you were able to go immediately to Zach Cowan. It's exactly how I thought they would start to play it this week. And in game 1, we saw it. And I would expect in game 2, game 3, whatever the next chance is that you have a lead, they're going to Case and Evans. If there's 9 outs left to go and you have a lead, they're going to Case and Evans. And that's how LSU is going to have to operate this thing right now. It just is. Until someone else steps up in the bullpen. And let me be clear. You need others to step up in the bullpen. Because riding Cowan, riding Evans like this for an entire season is not sustainable. It's just not. They're going to tire out. Evans more than Cowan. This is Evans' first season of college baseball. He's going to extend like he has never extended before. And the later you get into the season, the more innings, you have to keep an eye on that. So you're going to need others to step up still. But for right now, while you're early in the season, until that happens, this is how you run that bullpen. We talked about it in the preview, and they executed it perfectly tonight. Shorten the game, get to Cowan, get to Evans as soon as you can with a lead, and shut the other team down. So I loved that. And I mean, man, Zach Cowan was awesome. All right, let's kind of go through the game a little bit. We'll start with Cade Anderson. 4 1/3 is not what you're looking for, especially 5 earned runs. It's not what you're looking for. For me, it was really hard to pinpoint. It wasn't just one pitch. Cade Anderson just wasn't sharp. I don't know if it was the 1 day shorter rest. I mean, this is the first time he's ever been put in that position. I don't really want to hang it on that, but he just wasn't sharp. And it was not a pitcher's night in that ballpark. I tweeted as I was walking up to the stadium. Saw the flags, saw they were blowing hard, and that south wind. And it's just like, okay, the box is going to play small tonight. And I tweeted that, and there were 6 home runs hitting that game. So for one, it wasn't a great pitcher's night in that park, which again makes what Zach Cowan did even more impressive. Although the wind did kind of shift more blowing in the later innings, really towards the 7th. But he just wasn't sharp. And this is the evidence that I would really give you to show that. Aside from, obviously, the 3 home runs and the 5 earned runs. The last 2 times out for Anderson, he has struck out 11 in each of those outings. He struck out 5 tonight. And he was sitting on 3 for 3 2/3. He just wasn't missing bats like he normally does. So, he wasn't sharp. The key is, though, he kept it small. And he battled his ass off out there. And that's what you want from a Friday night guy. When he doesn't have his best stuff, he goes and fights. An ace. I'm sorry, game 1 starters. I know it's Thursday. But he goes and battles. And that's what Cade Anderson did. That's what he did. He gave up the 1 crooked number in the first inning. You gave up the single to Chance. You fell behind Ace Reese, which is a no-no, and you saw why. Kids smashed one to right field, and you're down 2-0 immediately. And then, man, he just couldn't get that 0. He kept chasing it, but he worked himself into trouble, gave up 1, but kept it there. And what helped as well is the immediate response by LSU. LSU in the bottom half of the second, after you're down 3-0, that's when you chase the run home on the double steal. Great slide by Jake Brown, by the way, there as well. He got a great jump from third base on the throw down, too. That obviously helped. You give up another single run in the third. That's when Derek Couriel gets one up in the wind to left field, opposite field shot, it goes out, and you're sitting right there. And they were able to keep you within 4 runs. And that's always where you want to be in baseball, is 4 runs, because one swing can tie the game. You load the bases and one swing can tie it. And lo and behold, in the bottom of the 5th, something that has bitten Mississippi State throughout conference early is the big inning. They gave up a big 7th inning in game 1 against Texas, lost the game because of it. And very similar to that, as a matter of fact, where State had a multi-run lead, gave up just enough in that 7th against Texas to be down by 1, and they would ultimately lose that game. In the third game of that series against Texas, it was again the 7th inning. They gave up a 3 spot and lost because of that. And then here on Thursday night, they give up 5 in the 5th. And y'all, we kind of talked about this. State is better than their record. They're definitely more talented than their record. Like, y'all, that lineup was as advertised for me. I mean, that is deep. There are not many breaks throughout that lineup. And Hungate out of the bullpen, very, very good. Very, very good. So it's them finding ways to lose. Whether it's shoddy defense or the walks creeping up when they don't need to. And that's what happened in that 5th inning. Walk to Couriel, walk to Jones. And that was right after LSU got the leadoff guy on the previous inning and scrapped it. So you really needed to take advantage of it. You really needed to take the advantage of it there in the 5th, and they did. So walk to Couriel, walk to Jones. Dickinson comes up. And, this is a huge spot because this was really Dickinson's first opportunity in conference play to show that he belongs behind Jared Jones. Jones walks. You have to come up and make them pay. And, man, it was a fantastic at-bat for Dickinson where he worked that count full, got one that he could drive and stepped on it and drove it into the left field bleachers, and that set the box ablaze. I mean, it felt like Alec Box Stadium in there after that hit. The place was jumping. You forced the pitching change. But what was so key was Dickinson coming through in that moment. Because now, yeah, he was hitting 360 and whatnot, but he had lacked that big blow as of late, hitting behind Jared Jones. Having that one was absolutely massive. And it just further strengthens him as the protector behind Jared Jones. And that's massive for LSU going forward in conference play. What was great about the rest of that inning is once they go to the bullpen after that Dickinson home run, as I said, the place is jumping. Josh Pearson comes up and singles. You immediately get it going again with nobody out. And that was huge. Huge. And then Steven Milam comes up. He's flipped over to the right side of the plate, which means he has a little helping wind. He turns on one, gets into it, gets it up in that jet stream, and drives it into the left field bleachers. And just like that, LSU has the lead. That quick strike offense, that immediate response. You scored in 4 innings tonight. 3 out of those 4, State had scored in the inning prior, in the top half of the inning. You're not going to hold this offense down long. And especially trying to pitch a bullpen game against them, which Mississippi State was doing. It didn't look good for a while, y'all. The at-bats weren't very competitive early in the game. They had a struggle stringing together hits. But big innings have bitten Mississippi State. And it did again tonight, and that was awesome. And then you turned it over to Zach Cowan, and he shoved. I thought the insurance run in the 8th was huge, and you would have loved to have driven it home with a hit, but it doesn't matter. The bunt worked. The bunt worked. And that was a bunt spot. That was the right call in that spot. Stanfield got it down. You needed an insurance run to the top of the order coming up in the 9th. You were going to have to face Ace Reese. You didn't want to do that with him with a chance to tie the game. So you get the leadoff man on. You have a good bunter at the plate in Stanfield. You put it down. He advances. And because he advanced the second on the bunt, the 2 wild pitches score him. If he just stays at first and you play for a big inning there, he ends up at third and you might not get anything. So that was great. You manufactured it with some help. And that's their backup catcher. Like, that's a big moment, big key spot in that game. Backup catcher in. He actually played a really nice game behind the plate until crunch time when it counted. And the ball got through him. So, I mean, y'all, look, that's a great win. You used 3 pitchers, but it really felt like you only used 2. Connor Benj can come back for you later in the weekend, and I'd expect you to see him. Your pitching is in a really good spot. Really, really good spot. You were in a really good spot a week ago. So you still have to go out there and execute and whatnot. But at home, needing to win 1 of the next 2, you should feel good about LSU's chances. We'll get into a little bit of Friday here momentarily and take some questions. But first, Gotlit Light Installers, GotLitLights.com. Smash the like button if you haven't already. GotLitLights.com for your quote. You need to illuminate your outdoor space, front yard, backyard. Gotlit Lights has you covered. Permanent outdoor landscape lighting, temporary outdoor lighting for your private events, weddings, graduation parties, wedding receptions, anniversary party, whether for you and your spouse or maybe it's your company's anniversary, commercial or residential, custom design, cut to fit, meet your design standards, GotLitLights.com. Follow them on Facebook as well, GotLitLights.com. All right, tomorrow, Friday. As for now, the game is still on at 6:30. LSU is not playing that baseball game at 6:30. There has to be a change. Unless they are just looking at some forecast that no one else in this state is looking at, they're not playing that game at 6:30. But we'll approach that bridge when we get to it. When they do play that game, they're going to face Cowan. And Cowan, very good. But LSU has hit frontline arms this year. And quite well. And LSU has hit left-handed pitching quite well this year also. A lot of that's because of the depth that you have, and you can put a guy like Ethan Fry in there, right? You can put Michael Braswell in there and stack the lineup with lefties, and they're veteran hitters, and it's worked out. I looked it up earlier in the week. I believe LSU on the season is hitting something like 320, 315, 320, something like that off of left-handed pitching. You'll face a really good one tomorrow in Con, where it's going to be, a mid-90s fastball. He's really been going to the slider a lot lately, and it's been really, really good. So that's going to be interesting to see. They saved him, try to steal that game, try to get themselves one on the road. But I'm just excited to watch LSU go up against him, have their approach, because they've hit frontline arms pretty damn good this year. Anthony Ianson. Y'all know what I want. Turn him loose. I want to see him go. Don't have the quick hook. If he gets in a little trouble, see if he can work out of it. I'll repeat it one more time. He was through 4 1/3 a week ago. 1st and 3rd, he had a 3-run lead. He was at 78 pitches. He needed a ground ball. He needed a ground ball to get out of that. They had the quick hook, and we know what happened after that. So this is a kid who routinely this year has gotten stronger as the game goes on. Let's let him go out there. What I'm not worried about is him going out there and giving you a great effort and keeping LSU in the ballgame. It's what he's done all year long. It's what he's done all year long. It's why I draw that comparison to 2023 with Ty Floyd. It has nothing to do with the stuff. It's the optics. It's how it looks, where everyone wants to replace him, and he just goes out there, pitches well, and keeps LSU in the ballgame, and they normally win. They've lost 1 start of Anthony Ianson's this season, and it was a week ago. The interesting thing I will want to see, though, is the competitiveness for him going up against a Friday night ace. See if that even just raises his level of competition, his level of fight to the next level. Guys can play up, man. Guys can play up when that is. And not that I think Anthony Ianson needs to play up. I like him. I think he's done very well for LSU so far this year. He throws strikes, which is good. Now, he's going to be on a day shorter rest. So we will have to keep an eye on that as well. Because I think I'd be lying if I said I didn't think that factored in a little bit to Cade Anderson tonight. And then, look, here's what you want to do. You want to shorten the game as much as you can, get a lead, and get Kason Evans in there as quickly as possible. And let him go out there and close the door. And then game 3s are offensive anyway. See if you can't piece it together on that day. I mean, that is your recipe. The recipe to win is what you saw tonight. You would just like a little bit more length out of your starter. And Cade Anderson, I have no doubt, he'll bounce back. He'll be fine. Like I said, I really like the fight. I really like the way he battled out there. So that is, if you have a lead tomorrow, give the ball to Case and Evans as soon as you can. Like, as soon as you can. Because that is your path to victory, just like it was tonight with Zach Cowan. All right, let me take a few questions here. Just a few. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Get subscribed up to the podcast and on the YouTube channel. Just search Musso at the Box. Take the show wherever you want, wherever you go. Cloud Zach, you think we see Binge again Sunday? Or, yeah, game 3, I do. You can see him again tomorrow. But yeah, you'll see him again. Tanner Thurman, did State burn any of their good arms out of the bullpen tonight? They burned Hungate. He's been one of their good. They've used him at the back end of games before. I mean, you saw that, y'all. He was really good. McPherson, I don't remember what McPherson's pitch count was, but I mean, LSU hit him pretty good. I don't really know if they're going to want to go back to him. But they did burn Hungate. But Luke Dotson is the guy that they've been going to at the back end of the pen. You didn't see him tonight, so they still have him. I mean, in a perfect world for them, they will go Cowan Dotson probably tomorrow, or Friday, I should say. And Cloudzak, he was getting loose a little bit there. And it was, you know, if I don't know why they ever would have put him in, but yeah, he was. Did Reeves just earn more playing time against left-handed pitchers? Dustin B? Yeah, I think he has. I loved what they did. They put Michael Braswell in the ninth as a defensive replacement. I think that's winning based. Like, I think that's a winning formula right there. Against lefties, sure. Against righties, sure. With a lefty on the mound tomorrow, I think you'll see Ethan Fry in the lineup. I think you'll see Michael Braswell in the lineup. They're going to stack it with righties. It's just what they've done. It's not about him earning more playing time. It's about, when he's in there, him doing what he can to help the team win. I mean, that's what Jay has said all year. And so far, it's worked with the offense, guys. It's worked with it. All right, let's get a few more. Few more. Cowan, DJ Trauma, the stuff is just way different between Cowan and Floyd. But and Cowan's command is way better than Ty Floyd's was. But I like the one similarity I would see there. Cowan's fastball plays up in the zone just like Floyd's did. It just doesn't have the zip on it. But because of his changeup, it looks 97. Stephen Milam Burner asked, did he play good? Stephen Milam Burner, you did. You fielded excellently at short, and you hit a 2-run homer to give the team the lead. That's good. Yes, that qualifies as good. All right, one more question. One more question. Make it a good one. Cloud Zach, think we dodged the rain? No, I do not. Over the next 2 days, absolutely not. There's going to be changes to this schedule. I'll be floored if they aren't. All right, y'all smash the like button on your way out. Get subscribed to the podcast if you have not already. And follow on social media, all those things. It's greatly appreciated. Great chat, great win for the Tigers. Showed a lot of character tonight. And that was huge. I mean, that was big. I mean, that was a great comeback win, and it showed a lot of character. We'll talk again after the game on Friday. This is Moose at the Box, presented by Got Lit Light Installers.